North Georgia's only live online morning show. Now look, between 9:30 and 10 o'clock in that area, we're going to talk about some things we have coming up. Who will be the next Republican Party, Georgia Republican Party chairman? We've got an event Saturday night that you don't want to miss. We're going to talk about that. Also, Homeland, HHS, not Homeland Security, Health and Human Services Secretary Tom Price, that will be today. Betsy DeVos took over yesterday. Watch out. Now, I want to go over a couple things here. Number one, I got a message. The Tea Party of Gilmer County invites you to its meeting on Monday, February 13th. That's the Tea Party of Gilmer County. Invites you to its meeting on Monday, the 13th, at the Gilmer Arts Building, located at 207 Dalton Street in Ellijay. Refreshments are at 6:30. And the meeting starts at 7. I have to go over a couple things that I was talking about yesterday before I messed up the show. I just want to get this out here, okay? The Democrats, on a daily basis, the media is running cover for them and telling you that no one's in charge. No one's in charge, okay? And the Democrats are in disarray because is it Keith Ellison from Minnesota, the Muslim, the loving Muslim Ellison, or is it this other guy, I forget his name. But anyhow, there's names floating around and who's the future of the party. And the problem right now is the party's in disarray. I'm going to disagree with that. I'm going to disagree with that, okay? I think that they know right now how they want to time out all of their releases, their jackass of the day, as I call it, but the chaos that they're attempting to cause, and that is happening on a daily basis with these nominees not being confirmed and standing on the floor all night calling, you know, these nominees names as far as, you know, disparaging them. Obama. First, I just want to go on the record briefly and say, if you thought, and I've said this before, I just want to refresh this. I didn't get a chance to say this yesterday, but these people they're guarded so well. Things do not, you know, you hear leaks out of the White House, okay? You hear that Donald Trump asked Flynn his opinion of the dollar. All right, that's top news for them. But Flynn is National Security Advisor. Now, I do not know this, but maybe Donald Trump got up at 3 in the morning and said, who the hell's up at 3 a.m.? Oh, Flynn. I'll call Flynn. I've always been calling him at 3, all the way through the kid. Flynn, what are you doing? What the hell with this dollar? What do you think? I don't know, Mr. President. That's not my thing, the dollar. You're the only one up this time in the morning, so I thought I'd run it by you. I don't know the details on that, all right? So, but the media, oh my God. So these are time. So now Barack Obama made a comment. Remember, he made a comment after, okay, the travel ban was put in place, all right? And he didn't have to, but his spokesperson sent out a comment from President Obama, all right? Then we fast forward about a week. So he's Paxitani Barack. So Paxitani Barack, that's, you know, running out to see his shadow, and we got 4 more years of this guy. That if you thought for a minute Barack Obama stayed in Washington, D.C. in a house so his daughter could finish school, really? Really? Come on. No. So what was it, yesterday, all over the media, they were gushing. They were gushing of this great, cool president with his pictures of him and Richard Branson skiing. So you have his comment that he should have never got involved in. That's not who we are. I love the jackasses say that's not who we are, okay, as a country. I love that they know who we are. Then you have pictures of Obama, you know, skiing, air skiing, whatever it is, kite skiing with his glasses with Richard Branson on a private island. Obviously, those were intended to be leaked to you, the video. That was intended to come out. Because although we're in turmoil, You remember how it was just 4 weeks ago, 5 weeks ago? You remember just 6 weeks ago how Obama, everything was cool? And now, trust me, he will show, there'll be something that will come from him on an average of every 10 days. I just want to put that out there. Okay. Homeland Security, yesterday we talked about it, Kelly. He said when we hear the boom, that's when we will know. Yesterday, Donald Trump took to task, okay? Donald Trump took to task the judges out there. I said yesterday before we went off the air, everything about that hearing was irrelevant. When these judges started asking questions about Muslim, asking questions about Giuliani, asking questions about the campaign trail, these were totally out of line. And every scholar, okay, every scholar out there, legal scholar, about everyone, they're finding theirs that have a hole in it, but about everyone is coming and saying, the president had a right to do this. All I'm going to say is I'm going to end with this on that topic. That I'm going to end with by saying that I'm just pulling up something here. I'm going to end with that topic by saying any ninth grader, as Trump said, could read this. And he has exposed the courts. And we are tired in this country of activist judges. So one, I'm not concerned about him being the executive, in the executive branch and taking on the judicial branch. I'm not concerned about that, okay? They are not to legislate, and it has to stop. We have been asking the courts to stop legislating from the bench, and we need to do something about these activist judges immediately. And Donald Trump has done something about it. And we do not have to accept things. Quit letting these people tell you that we have to accept things. For example, they're going to tell you the Ninth Circuit, everyone knows, is left to center. Why should we be discussing? Now, Donald Trump said, okay, now listen to this. You're going to hear this. Donald Trump said they're political, okay? Political. So you're going to hear these brilliant people around the tables discussing this. They're just brilliant in their own word. They're going to tell you the 9th District is left of center. What does that imply? Their political view? Left of center? Or why don't they just say an unconstitutional activist court? But they'll tell you, oh, everybody knows the 9th District's left of center. Like everybody knows, I think it's the 11th District, everybody knows the 11th District is right of center. So if you're going to hear that in some of these groups, okay, if you're going to hear that in some of these groups of, well, everybody knows the 9th is left of center and everybody knows the 11th District is right of center, then guess what? When Donald Trump said yesterday these courts have to stop being political, then he was correct about that because they are. There's no reason that we identify a court right of center, left of center. We should identify these courts as constitutional bodies, legal bodies of judges that rule based on the Constitution. It should have taken this 9th District, whether it's in California, New York, Texas, or in Illinois, it should have taken this 9th District Court of Appeals panel 15 minutes to look and say to the plaintiff, you got to give me more than this, man. You got to give me more than so there's a company with a couple people stuck. All right. 109 people. Nobody discusses the 109, and that's the number, and nobody takes that to task. 109 people. Folks, there are more black defendants in this country today, wrongfully accused, that attorneys are standing before judges saying, my client is detained on false charges, than 109. But yet, it's another example of how the black male community is basically the last. If you want to know where you're at, and I don't care how controversial this sounds, in black male America, you are last, and you need to understand that. You have been sold out. You are last. Latino, Hispanic, Mexican, Guatemalan, El Salvadoran, whatever the hell they are nowadays, they have well exceeded your rights. Muslims, refugees, Muslims, terrorists, whatever, coming into this country has jumped all the hurdles necessary for some of these whack jobs to get constitutional rights that they have no right to. They have no right to come to this country. Mr. Black Male America, you are last, because 109 people could not get into the country and were briefly detained. I don't remember any statistics saying out of the 109 how many died. Okay? I don't know how many have, out of the statistics, have been accused of being abused in their cell. I don't see any statistics other than you wait here. Other than somebody saying, well, I couldn't get my medicine. You wait here. I'm not seeing the death of one person that was detained. You know, God knows the liberals are only on the edge of calling them captured. Prisoners of war. Maybe they're prisoners of war, damn it. You never know. Okay? Not one death. But let me tell you something. And they're rallying in the streets. Soros is paying money for banners. And the worst part, let me just appeal. I know I probably don't have any black male audience, but let me just appeal to you. Whatever you do, don't be so stupid. And I'm sorry. Don't be so stupid to go out and stand in one of these protests with a banner knowing you're the last on the list. You are it. Bottom. Can't get any lower. And you had President Barack Obama for 8 years. And this is how you get treated. I'll guarantee you there's more than 109 black males detained in a jail today that is wrongfully accused or has an attorney saying, my client is being detained on, wrong, the charges are trumped up. Whatever. Trumped up. There you go. Trumped up charges. That's what it is. I will take a brief break. I'm going to set up for 9 o'clock. Wait a minute, I don't want to take a brief break. I'm going to stay right here because at 9 o'clock I got to get ready for Drain the Swamp, Fannin County. Tell your friends, Drain the Swamp, Fannin County. All right, now, watch this one, folks, because this one, people like the Huffington Post, and my God, the editorial pages will start sparking up these. And you've already heard this. I've seen it on the Huffington Puffington. What is that? Is that what Rush calls them, the Huffington Puffington? Anyhow, Trump being incompetent. Watch this one. Incompetent to serve. Oh, there's inner circles in the White House that, folks, if you look at Article 2 of the Constitution, all right, and you look at Article 2 of the Constitution, it deals with the removal. This totally deals with the removal of office. But then if you go to look at the constitutional topics and you look at everybody that has left office as a president that is through death there and being incompetent, all right? The majority, let me explain this and not go into too far. Okay? And this is the 25th Amendment, okay? Step one is a declaration of disability. To remove a president from power, the vice president and the majority of the department securities must send a message to the Speaker of the House and the President pro tem of the Senate stating that the president is unable to fulfill his duties as president. Note that the majority of the executive departments and not of cabinet, okay? The cabinet is often used as a shorthand term for the executive departments, but the cabinet actually consists of other persons such as the White House Chief of Staff and some agency heads. These people are not part of the 25th Amendment process. So it's not going to happen. They're not going to send a message down to Paul Ryan to say Donald Trump's incompetent, all right? And that's the Declaration of Disability, all right? Now, they floated this around with Ronald Reagan in the last couple years of his presidency. It was floated around a little bit, and rumor got out that it was discussed once or twice of a declaration of disability for Ronald Reagan. You're going to hear that, and I just want to clear that up. You've got the 25th Amendment, okay? You've got the 25th Amendment to the Constitution that discusses everything as far as a president's removal from office. Do not fall for the jackass of the day and half the media telling you in some of the editorial pages that discussions are already going on in the inner circle of whether Trump's competent enough to be president of the United States. So I just want to put that one to rest. Let's see what else I have. Oh, there's so many things that are just disheartening and demoralizing. We went over that, right? Blumenthal, the liar. He's our jackass of the day. Where we got our Facebook, we got that going on. Let's see. Why am I?
Incompetent.
That may be the subject of our next story. You have your incompetent, and then you have your counsel, and
competent.
So you have incompetent, competent, and counsel. Those are the three leading words in our next report on Drain the Swamp, Fannin County. Big snowstorm in the Northeast. Get your skis out, get your snowmobile out, get your four-wheelers out. Big snow in the Northeast. I'm your host, BKP. We're going to be at Blue Jeans Pizza tomorrow, Lonnie. Tomorrow morning, we're going to be at Blue Jeans Pizza at 10 o'clock, the Katie Sassine Show. Saturday night, the GOP, Republican Party, GOP there in Georgia is going to have a debate. We're going to be there, FYEdTV.com. What else I got going on? We got a little bit of everything happening. Did I leave anything out, Lonnie? Lonnie says this show is NAP approved, and you've endorsed this show for a nap. He sits over there and sleeps. I'm your host, BKP. Drain the Swamp, Fannin County. We'll be right back with that. And Blumenthal is our jackass of the day. Nothing but a liar. Elizabeth Warren was yesterday, and don't forget, we always have if we have to fall back, we run out of material, Lonnie, we could always play the Maxine Waters clip of where she claims that Donald Trump or Russia is invading Korea. I'm your host, BKP. We'll be right back after these messages.